Today we're playing more Geometry Dash, and this is a pre-recorded video. But what I want to talk about is the Geometry Dash main levels. The main levels are fine. They teach the mechanics well, and they're a great thing to play before you play other levels. But they aren't perfect. There's a lot of flaws with them. Like, for example, in Time Machine, there's way too many triple spikes. You could argue they need to teach the triple spikes because they're important for the game, but why not spread them out a bit better? Like have one in Stereo Madness, two in Back on Track, and just keep going up like that for the most part. But no, you just completely forgot about triple spikes until Time Machine, and then they were like, well, we gotta get them in somehow, so let's throw them all in here. And they made me really hate Time Machine. This is by far my least favorite level. Another problem is in half of the levels, the coins, well, a lot of the coins for the first few levels, you just fall somewhere random and you get the coin. Another problem is in Electroland Adventures, breakable blocks were introduced, and then they were used in Theory version 2, but never again. So there's a lot of stuff that could have been done better, and I want to try to do it better. The main levels are fine the way they are, but it would be nice if they were better. So that's why I'm working on this. Level order for new GD main levels. I'm just making my own imaginary main levels, and I have planned them out. None of this is final, but I'm just working on planning it out right now. And as you can see, some stuff is different. Oh yeah, another issue I forgot to mention. At the beginning of the game, the decoration is way different from later on, and I just don't like that much. I'm going to try to fix that. Let's see here in the first level, introduces blocks, slopes, mostly for decor, not gameplay, so you're not going to be like sliding off of stuff that's too advanced. Spikes, the ship, small amount of camera triggers, and small amount of move triggers. I feel like all of that stuff is fine. It might seem like a lot, but I feel like it fits into the game from the beginning kind of seamlessly. Also, if they're not named, I suppose I haven't came up with a name for that, but, well, more on that later because it's not really true anymore. So from there, it's the same for a while. Pads, orbs, gravity portals, upside down ship, and shorter upside down sections, more triple spikes, orbs and pads. Oh wait, I didn't mention in upside down sections. Mirror mode. More use of moving objects is different. Doesn't add anything new, but uses moving objects in an interesting way during ball sections. I had this idea where they move on the top and bottom and you bounce between them. I think that'll be cool. Introduces gravity pads and orbs. That's normal. More camera trigger use. And then here I introduce speed. Then already introducing dash orbs, pink dash orbs, and slopes used for gameplay. Adds nothing, but takes everything so far and increases the difficulty. Mini mode, UFO and teleportals, that's different. Teleportals were introduced in Geometrical Dominator, I think. First demon, this is kind of like clip step. Also, another thing, I don't like that the difficulty isn't gradual. I think it should be like a gradual increase in difficulty. Like, the first would be easy, then normal, and it would just slowly get harder and harder. But it's like gradual for a little bit, then down, then up, then down, then up, then it just stays flat for a while, then up a lot, down a lot, flat, and it's just weird and I don't like it. So like up here at the end, level 23, that would be like really difficult demon. And then this might seem a little weird. This is because I want to make some levels that would be in the game if I controlled what mechanics were in it. So I would do a lot of stuff differently. So this path is for the people who just want what's normally in the game. I'm probably going to move this way up later because I kept coming up with more things I would want to change. But this is how it is for now. Back to the game. This was going to be the first level. It actually is pretty cool. But the problem with it is I decided that I wanted to introduce slightly more advanced decoration than this. Because I want the decoration to be the same for all the levels, but if I go like modern decoration, it would take forever to make. So I'm thinking just use like 1.0 stuff. But I feel like that's a little too basic, so I'm going to use a little more advanced decoration. And also the chip sections, there's 3 of them and they're way too short, which I don't think feels very right for the first level. So yeah, I'm not super happy with this as the first level. I still like it as a level, although I gotta add coins. But I'm gonna do a different one for this. Okay, the last bit I want to show is this has nothing to do with that at all. But I want to show a few levels I made, not for videos. So I made some challenges, and I've been really enjoying making challenges because they're like levels, but you don't need to commit to them at all because they're so short. So this is Swing Club Step. And it's just a swing copter challenge, but with club set monsters because I thought that would be cool. There were actually originally none of these passable club set monsters, but then I realized when people go look at this, they might be like, oh, shouldn't there be a club set monster in the first second? I'm leaving because I didn't get what I asked for. Because when I originally made this, I thought of adding a club set monster later on. So I kind of felt like I had to add these in the beginning. I don't think it takes away that much. I think it's fine. But this one's definitely the most difficult, and it's just because Swing Copter is a difficult game mode. But then there's UFO Challenge, and this is the first time I tried to decorate something, and I'm so proud of how it turned out. Look how gorgeous this looks. Okay, I know it's not perfect, but it just looks really good to me, and I'm really proud of it. And it got 3 likes, which I'm happy about. I'm going to try to show off the whole thing. It's not that hard, so I should be able to, but I'm talking, so I'm going to stop talking so I can show it all off. There we go, I finally did it. That took way longer than it should have. And then there's, oh, this, I didn't finish this. I wasn't liking how the other one was turning out, but I realized I just had to change a few things in the other one, so I never finished this. This was a different UFO challenge I was thinking of making. This was for a video. Go see that video if you want. And then here's a robot challenge. This one's not decorated nearly as much. And it has 2 coins actually. And I actually did it first try, nice. The coins are pretty cool, honestly. And then this is a ball challenge. I'm not quite done with it. I think I want to do advanced decoration for this. But I think I'm done with all the gameplay and such. Wait. Oh. I never updated. I never synced it with my iPad. I made more progress on this on my iPad. That's fine. And then this isn't a challenge, but look how cool this looks. I made this earlier today, and I think it looks amazing. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and comment if you enjoyed. And this is a pre-recorded video for when I go on vacation. But except that's not the end of the video because this was recorded a few days after that part was recorded, and I already edited it. But in that time, I have started working on the equivalent of Poltergeist for this. And I didn't do the equivalent of Stereo Madness because I didn't feel like making another Stereo Madness right after that last one that I decided not to use. And I'm definitely not going to be doing these in order because that's not as fun. So if we go over here, I've done some other stuff over the last few days. And I might show that off at the end, I haven't decided. But right now, we're looking at this one. So I used the song Race Around the World, which I'm pretty sure was made by Waterflame. If it wasn't, that would be very embarrassing. So, great job, Waterflame. It's a pretty good song. The real annoying thing is I reached the limit on how long the titles can be, so there can't be a space over here. Which is really annoying, but it's okay. So now I'm going to show off the level. So, this is how it starts. Jump there, yada yada yada, and this is kind of like Poltergeist, except the introduction of orbs I'm not too sure about. But then I had this part, which is like that part in Back on Track, and I wasn't paying attention, so I died. It might be a little too complex for the introduction of orbs, but I think it's fine. So then you go up here, and then if you hit this orb, you get the coin, which I think that was the most sick thing ever. Might be my favorite coin that I've ever made. And I want to show you exactly how I did it. So if we look over here, you can see these blocks are faded, and if you didn't know how you do that, is with a trigger called the alpha trigger. So I gave these all group 1, and I gave the coin group 2, so I can make it slightly less faded. I could make it not faded at all, and I could make the other blocks a lot more faded. I don't know what would be the best. So you can tell me what you think. But that's what I decided to do for now. Anyway, how you actually go ahead and get this coin is you can either, well, there's 2 options, and that is not one of them. You can either hit that orb really late, which I think is the best option, or you can skip that pad, and that's also another thing you can do, but I think it's slightly harder. And I ran into an issue, because pretend this thing doesn't exist. If you fall here, you just land on that pad and get the coin much easier, which I didn't like at all. So what I did is now pretend this does exist, which it does, so that should be a lot easier than pretending it doesn't exist. You just die if you go there, and you need to jump. I think that was a really cool solution, and it doesn't even look that out of place. So that's the coin. I think it's really, really cool. And another thing I'm really proud of is this decoration for the top of here. You have these ground spike decorations as decoration for the spikes, and you have chains and clouds up here. Because another thing I'm really proud of is I'm theming this as like floating islands. That's why these have such interesting bottoms. So these are supposed to be clouds holding this spike roofing up. I also used it over here. And, oh, I forgot about this. So this used to be down here, because I forgot I was making poltergeist and not back on track. So I was trying to do the thing back on track did. But then I remembered I was making poltergeist, and I just decided to do that, but with orbs, because I thought it would be cool. I think it makes a great addition. Anyway, should I delete these? I feel like it's kind of a good memory of it. And I mean, it's not like you can see it on the main route, can you? You can't see it on the main route at all. So yeah, that's good then. But I think these floating island things are really cool. They have ground spikes over here. I don't have any over here because they're boring to add, but I'll add them eventually. But I think it's actually turning out really well, and I'm just going to keep building this. You can tell me what you think, and I think I'm going to have a ship right here. It seems like a good spot because the song really shifts. See what I mean? It totally shifts. So I think that would be a great spot for a ship section. So now, thanks for watching for real, and I'm just going to play through this while I do the outro again. So make sure to consider liking and not thanks for watching for real. I think I do kind of want to show off these challenges, although that's more time it will take to edit. I can do it very quickly. So this is the spider challenge. Yep, spider challenge. I died, so I'm not going to continue playing that. Ship challenge. I don't know if I'm actually going to finish this one because it's going to take forever doing decoration, but the gameplay is done. Unnamed one. What is this? Oh, here's another spider challenge. And then here's the finished version of the ball challenge if I don't die. Let's see. And I died. Well, I kind of want you to see it. Okay, one more shot. No, I lied. I really want to show it. So this is definitely new. And then it ends like that. I'm gonna put an end trigger there. It's not decorated, so it's not technically done, but it'll be done pretty soon. And I don't think I'm gonna do advanced decoration on this. I don't really feel like it. Anyway, so going back into this. Thanks for watching. Please consider liking, subscribing, and especially commenting if you enjoyed. I really like getting comments. Oops. Oh, this is awkward. And if you have any ideas on how to improve this level, or my level organization thing I have in the notes app, please let me know too. Or just a coin. And I do think that is about it. So goodbye and see you next time.